Okay, so let's just go into this spread. The energy that you're dealing with here is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is a situation where something might have gone awry. There might have been some complaints, is what I usually don't get complaints with this card. But there's a situation where you feel like something is done to you that's wrong, or you're about to do something that you feel is like, you know, below your normal expectation. It's something that is unexpected. It's something that has to be done, you know, kind of like discreetly, and you are trying your best not to draw attention to yourself. Okay. So I'm sensing for some of you, you're dealing with this in a situation where somebody has exposed themselves to be a little bit unscrupulous, and you're really doubting their intentions. You're really doubting whether or not, you know, you should expose them, whether or not you should kick a fuss over the situation, and whether or not you should re-engage with this person. So I'm sensing like there has been something in the work environment that has not been going well for you. And there might have been theft. There might have been somebody, you know, doctoring documents. I'm sensing. And so it's a situation that you're just like, it's not your cup of tea. You don't want to get involved in it. You don't want to associate with the wrong people and, you know, be caught up in the whirlwind of drama. So I'm sensing many of you are trying to, you know, move away from it. If it's a work situation, they're saying that you have stayed there for quite some time. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of restructuring within that work environment. And it's no longer feasible and stable because there has been a lot of complaints and a lot of just, I'm sensing a lot of problems that you had to do damage control on, okay? And a lot of problems that are coming to your attention, and you're just like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. So I'm seeing confrontation. I'm seeing just, you know, meddlesome energies too. And so you're trying to find an escape route. And I feel like, you know, you're trying to jump ship. You're trying to apply for other jobs even, and you're trying to not let people know that you're seeking work, because a lot of times if we're currently employed at one place, the new place might call to verify our employment situation, and you don't want your current boss or your current company to know about it. So I feel like you're trying to do the right thing, Pisces, and it's hard, mainly because you don't want to fly under the radar. You try to do, you know, walk on the straight and narrow, and you don't want people to know that you're looking for opportunities elsewhere. Okay. And so my advice here is that a lot of the energies that you're dealing with has always been mental or emotional. There's no physical harm. I feel like there isn't anything like physically harmful that you're dealing with, but a lot of the times the fears are coming in a very visceral way to you, because emotionally it's unsettling, and for you mentally because you don't really know how things are gonna resolve themselves. The fears are keeping you stuck. Okay. So because even though, like, you know, it's something mental, it's something emotional, it's not something physically that you're in danger of, I feel like it's still, from your end, it still feels very real. And so as a result of it, I feel like you're keeping yourself, you know, stuck, and you're keeping yourself kind of like turning a blind eye to a situation as well. And so they're pretty much telling you as well, you know, like, you know who you're dealing with, try to avoid that person. And if it's a situation where you're not happy in a work environment, you're going to really need to defend your territory. You're going to need to take care of yourself. So that means, you know, branching out, looking for other work. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck here and dealing with all of these problems, and, you know, other people coming in, having you do damage control in their own lives. So I feel like it's a little bit problematic for you where you are right now. They're pretty much telling you as well, you know, in the past, there has been a situation where you kept yourself very stuck. You thought the situation was going to get better. You thought, you know, automatically things will improve, or automatically, I honestly feel like, you know, somebody will come to my rescue, or the other person will see the errors of their ways, and then things will be okay again. So as long as I stay and try to work at it, things are going to get better. And it didn't get better. And you know that now, but looking back at the past, I feel like now you're ready to fight. Now you're ready to be combative, and now you're ready to like take ownership of the situation. Okay. And so looking back at the past, you might have been regretful that you didn't get angry enough, that you didn't get out of there soon enough. And so I feel like in hindsight, there's a lot of clarity coming through, which is allowing you to see a situation for what it is, and for you to finally admit that, it wasn't the best place for me to be. But in order for you to get yourself here, I feel like you have to unbind yourself, and you have to leave that work situation behind. Leave, that troublesome, meddlesome coworker behind. Keep them at arm's length, not letting them in on your secrets, not telling them your plans, not revealing your intentions. So I feel like there is a major maturation process happening here. And I feel like a lot of it deals with like owning up to like coming into power of our own strength, being a lot more discerning, and at the same time learning like how the smart way to keep people at arm's length without offending them, without like having to, insult them or anything like that. So I feel like you're able to do that because, you look back at a situation and you're a lot more cautious about what you reveal. You're cautious about, not blending your personal life with your professional life. So I feel like there might have been some office romances that went awry, and you're trying to do some self-correction. Okay, so you're trying to wean that person out of your life. You're trying to move away to a different work environment where you don't have to see that person again, and you're going to have success in doing that. Okay, so I do feel overall it is a very like transitory but a smooth month that you're going to sail over things will be okay, leaving the past behind. A situation where you felt very stuck, you felt like verbally attacked, like people might have been wrongfully, coming to you with a lot of issues. And I'm also sensing as well, I mentioned earlier, I see a lot of students applying for school. I see a lot of people in the medical profession or even like the mental health profession. And I feel almost as if there's a lot of structural changes happening in your current company if you're working. There are a lot of structural changes happening in your current work environment. So you feel there is a need for you to upgrade your skills. And you feel like once you upgrade your skills, the path will be paved for you so that you know the right way to move forward. And I do feel that to a certain extent, upgrading our skills is always going to allow new opportunities to come in, but they're also telling you the self-awareness needs to happen first. Okay, so figuring out who we are, figuring out like where we're headed and where we want to go, I feel like those things need to come in first before the path will be lit for you. So this sense of self-awareness, it needs to happen, and it can't happen if you're like oscillating between two decisions. It can't happen if you're not decisive enough. I see a very strong Libra energy here. It can't happen if you're like procrastinating on a decision, if you're procrastinating on moving away, if you're keeping yourself stuck for, fear-based reasons. Okay, so try to grab opportunities when they're coming in, stepping out of your comfort zone geographically, even if you need to, so that you can explore a little bit more what's appropriate for you, so that you can explore whether or not something is worth pursuing. Like maybe it's a bust, and maybe it takes you like 2 months to figure out that maybe this is not the right track for me. So I feel like you have good things trying to come in. And I also feel like other people are telling you, they're telling you about good ideas that you should pursue. They're telling you how you should, move yourself forward with the next stage in your life. And they themselves are very, very adventurous, and you might not be as adventurous. And they're telling you in a very nonchalant way, you should do this, you should do that, you should, just not operate from fear. But you are the one that has to make these decisions. And there is a lot of fear within this spread coming from your end. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to, do something irreversible. And so as much as they advocate, as much as they talk big about, what you should do, I feel like this is, once again, the impetus has to come from within. And I feel like you're not there yet, and you will get there. I do sense like throughout this month, the transition will happen where you will break away from it. A lot of you, I'm sensing, leaving a geographical location, moving forward and not looking back. Okay, so physically moving. Retirement. A lot of retired people that are still trying to work. Okay, and for whatever reason, you're still trying to work, and you feel like physically you're able to do that. But then has been so many shifts and changes in the current work environment that is really stressing you out. And so I feel like, taking the sabbatical would be good. Taking even that early retirement is actually a really good thing for you to do. I'm also feeling as well, self-employed people, there might be a little bit of a dip in your financial situation, but things will pan out for you. Okay. So it basically means, doing a little bit more expansion, relying on internet-based, marketing, advertisements, etc., in order to advertise your services. And I do sense that, the clients, the projects, I think that things are going to be picking up for you. It's just going to be a matter of getting through this month. I feel like things are going to right themselves up again. If you're worried, if you're self-employed, if you're worried that you're not able to make the same amount as, the previous months, I feel like this situation is going to alleviate. What I'm also feeling for some of you as well is they say, like, grab opportunities. So they said, like, the right fit. And then they mention grab opportunities when they come in, because I feel like the opportunities might be very small. Initially, it might seem very small, but I feel that it's going to be revolutionizing the way in which you do work, and as well in the ways in which you're going to be able to really enjoy your free time. Okay. And I feel like this, clearing up of mental worries, it's almost like feeling a sense of peace that's going to be coming through in the later part of this month. You're going to exhale, you're going to start to breathe, and you're going to feel like I made the right decision. I'm in really, really good space right now. So I feel like this is mental clarity, the fog lifting. You have a lot of mental clarity, and you're going to feel very, very sure that you're in the right place. Okay. You're going to feel really sure that this is the exact fit for you for the next phase in your life.